Dear single parents all over the world, whether you're a single parent by choice or through divorce, separation, whether you're widowed, pregnant and alone, whether you're an ex-partner or just co-parenting, this channel is for you. My name is Betty, your noble host. Welcome. All right, let's begin. So, single parents, I wanted to share something very important with all of you. And this concerns your children and how to act in front of them. Parents, I don't care how close you are to your children, but don't treat these children like your best friends. You treat them like your best friends, and then you share your private business with them. Especially those ones who are teenagers. You know, you have single parents. You've stayed with your children so long, you start to believe that you are age mates. Then you start to share your private business with them. You start telling them about your escapades, your ex-boyfriends. I know parents who do that. They forget that they're talking to their children, and they start telling their children about their conquering ways. You know, or they tell them, private business that children ought not to hear. Parents, those children are not your best friends. They are children, they need your guidance, and they don't want to hear your private crap. Keep that crap to yourself and to your friends. Don't be telling your children your business. You're telling them who you're dating, who is hot out here. There are parents who are like that. I just wonder, I'm like, what? No. And okay, so you're telling your children who is hot. That parents who are very trendy, they like to keep up with the trends, and that's fine. It's good to keep up with it. But don't be telling have boundaries with your children. There's a place you can come this far. You have to have boundaries with your children. They're still young, very impressionable, and they listen to everything you say. And then they start to copy you. And then you wonder, hey, my child is promiscuous, but you're the one who is feeding her with promiscuous information. Every day of her life, you want to tell about your boyfriend. Oh, I dumped that guy. And then she's asking you, oh, mom, how is Tony? And then you're like, me, I dumped Tony. Now I'm with David or someone. Parents, especially mothers, single mothers, that business of telling your child everything you're doing in private. Those children should be knowing that you're an angel, even if you're the devil himself. They should not know anything private about you. Nothing. Don't tell them anything that they don't need to hear from your mouth. All you need is to provide them with guidance, tell them how adorable they are, take them to school, provide for them everything they need. But don't tell them things that you're doing. And I even told parents this before. Even if you're dating somebody, or you started dating somebody after the breakup or the separation or the divorce, don't be introducing these children to those people. Today you're introducing Tom. Tomorrow you're introducing David. And then they ask you, Mom, so what happened to Tom and David? They're like, those are fools. I'm aiming higher. Why would you tell your children? Why? I mean, why? Why would you tell your children things like that? They don't even, I told you parents, even if you're dating somebody, you date them outside the confines of your children. Outside. They don't even need to know that you're dating anyone unless now you become committed to this person you're dating, or maybe it becomes official. But until then, you're not supposed to be sharing critical, private information like that to your children. Don't do that. I told you your children are very impressionable. They pick everything you do. They pick your behaviors. They pick your mannerisms. They pick everything. And there you go, running your mouth, telling them, whoever is bad, now I'm not dating whoever. And then you decide to bring whoever in the house to meet your children. Now they're comfortable with whoever. Then he decides to dump you. Now you're off to the next one. Then you're dumped. They'll begin to believe that this is the culture. Dear parent, are you listening to me? Don't be telling children your private business. They have no business listening to anything you're telling them that is private. not anything that is, especially that which is of sexual content. They don't need to hear that. They're still young, growing up. You cannot be telling teenagers about your boyfriends or girlfriends. You're telling teenagers that you're dating whoever. And then you're saying, oh, by the way, whoever is coming to the house, so how do you bring these people to the house? Parents, single parents. If you value your children, you will not be bringing strangers up in the house. I don't care whether you are in love to the moon and back. Don't be bringing, those people are strangers to your children. They might not be strangers to you because you know, you're adults. But when you bring somebody new and you introduce them, somebody who is not their father or mother, that person is a stranger. You bring strangers in the house, you even sleep with them in the same bed. I told you, parents, don't be doing that. Don't do that. If you want to have your moments, do them in private. I told you, this is why motels, hotels, and lodgings were built for a reason. Go and use them. Don't bring strangers to your children, where your children are. And don't be telling your children private business. And keeping up, I wanted to say keeping up with the Kardashians, but don't involve them in things they shouldn't know. Be a parent. Don't be their best friend. You cannot be their best friend. Because how will you discipline them if you're their best friend? How do you discipline these children? You've told them about all your boyfriends. Now you want to discipline them. So how will you discipline them? How? Parents, how will you discipline your children when you're busy telling them about your private affairs? And you're even going to the mile of bringing these affairs into the house with the kids. And then, look, no, no, this is serious, by the way. Because I see it. And so every time I see it, I'm shocked. And people wonder why I'm shocked. But I grew up in the 80s. These things were not normal. It was not normal to have like a relationship with a parent that is so, it's not, there are no boundaries. Like my parent would never say anything. In fact, even now she cannot say those things to me. My mom, she still believes I'm a child. There are things she cannot say. She has to whisper them. You know why? Boundaries. She understands I'm a child. Even at 40, she knows I'm a child. And you at teenagers who are 15, 16, you're busy telling them, or you're spreading gossip and lies. You're telling them, this nanny is bad. This nanny is you, parent. You know, I have told you, children are very impressionable. They pick mannerisms and behaviors that they have seen from you, dear parent. When you start gossiping your best friends or your whoever you're gossiping, and you're treating those children like, there are parents actually who take their children to these restaurants and clubs and they allow them to have their own boyfriends. By there I get shocked. I'm old school. So that I get shocked because I'm old school. Really. I need parents to be serious with life. You need to know that you're taking care of a very delicate group of people who need guidance and direction, who need you to be a parent. They need a parent. So if you're telling them about all the dates you have been, you're telling them, you're gossiping with them, with all the people in the neighborhood, when they need help finally, when they come to you and tell you, Mom, Dad, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, what will you tell them? What advice are you going to tell them? Because they'll see you like a best friend. They'll treat you like a best friend. It's not right, parents. Your children cannot be your best friends. And your children cannot be your best friends, and you cannot be your best friends to your children. There has to be a boundary. A parental boundary. You have to create one, and a very strong one. You know, if you are in a roof of both parents, perhaps it will make sense, or it will not be so much. I don't know what to say, but now that you are a single parent, you are the only one giving direction to this child. Not the only one, but most of the time you are with these children, right? Most of the time you're the one giving direction, right? Especially mothers. But the only direction you're giving this child is how to date multiple people at the same time. Because if they see you going out with whoever and whoever and whoever, and then you come and tell them, oh, they give me money, so you guys better, that's what they will do. Because they know mom is doing it, so it's right. Or dad is doing it, so it's right. And then when they come home pregnant or with an STD, I don't know what you will do or say to them. Because now you cannot raise your voice to them telling them that they did something wrong. They will be telling you, mom, but you have like 2-3 boyfriends. I was just doing the same thing you're doing. No boundaries, parents. These children are not your friends. They are not your girlfriends and boyfriends. They need leadership. They need guidance. You need to keep that private crap private. Like I told you, motels, hotels, and lodgings were built for a reason. Go out there, do your thing, go and discuss with your friends, leave these children alone to be. I have seen children at 16, 17, they are pregnant, they have not finished school. Perhaps somebody who mom introduced them to took advantage of them. And now mom has to hide this thing because she doesn't want it public, that she's been sleeping with whoever. And this whoever has molested their child. Now they're keeping it private. She's telling the child, don't tell your dad or don't tell people. Look, you cannot hide pregnancy. and even if she's not pregnant, or he doesn't have a disease, because these boys, nowadays they're also molested. They don't have nowhere to run to, because now you've exposed yourself. And then now you cannot offer any guidance to these children, because you yourself, you've compromised yourself. So where do they go? It is okay to talk to your children. When they come and say, Mom, I have a boyfriend, or Mom, I have a girlfriend, you sit them down and tell them the ABCs of life. Because you have to. As teenagers, they have to hear it. But now you are the one who need the ABCs of life. What happens to your children? Hey, parents, we need to do better. We need to do better, honestly. We need to do better. We need to do better for our children. We need to do better. We cannot be best friends with our children and parents at the same time. It's not possible. It is not possible. You know that. You have to offer guidance. It has to be clear, especially if you're a single parent, you're the one you're the one with the child. You need to do better for that child, because now she only has one parent. If she had 2 parents, then she would run to the other, right? But now she only has you, or he only has you. And you're not even doing your best. In fact, you're making it worse. So where do they run to? They will run to the next person, the next neighbor who will take advantage of them. That's what happens. Because you're not offering guidance. You're busy doing your thing in the house in front of them. So they have nowhere to go. But to the neighbor who will easily take advantage of them. Parents, are you listening to where I'm going with this point? You cannot be best friends and you cannot be at the same time a parent to your child. It's not possible. You have to pick one. You have to choose one. Wisdom. I always tell people, wisdom comes from God. You need to ask God for wisdom to raise your child. You need to ask God for wisdom. Lord, this is where God comes in. I told you, parents, you cannot live without God. God is everywhere. He is needed everywhere. This is the wisdom you need to ask from God. God, give me wisdom to raise this child. And this is the wisdom I am giving you, parent. You cannot be a best friend and a parent to this at the same time. It's not possible. Maybe perhaps when they grow up and they are in their 30s, then you can be best friends. Because then now they're out of your hands. They are grown-ups. They do whatever they want to do. You can be friends then. But not when they are teenagers. In fact, when they're teenagers, you have to be more of a parent to them as teenagers. Because teenagers have plaguing adolescent problems that need a strong parent to stand in. A strong praying parent to stand in for them. Because they are, you've been parents, have you not been adolescent before? You've been teenagers before. You know the changes you go in. There are so many changes you go through. So many changes that you need help. Sometimes you are moody. Your breasts are growing. For the boys, they're growing. Their voices are breaking, and they don't understand what is happening. But you're busy gossiping and telling your children about your boyfriends. Listen, especially teenagers, you need to be careful how you deal with teenagers. You need to be very extra careful how you deal with teenagers, because teenagers are very sensitive people. It's a very sensitive group of people. We've been teenagers before, we know. Everything just happens at once, pooh, and you have no idea what to do. And that's where you need guidance. And that's why, parents, I'm telling you, be wise. This is why you need wisdom, so that you don't lose your children. Many of our children get lost at that age. You know, you were very rebellious at that age. You remember, dear parent, don't you remember how rebellious you were at that age? Now imagine your child. You forgot. Now you think you're best friends with them. And you know everything they do at teenagehood. It just culminates in adulthood. And once it culminates, there's nothing you can do. But you can do something when they're teenagers. You can give them guidance. When they come, be gentle with them. Be outspoken. Tell them the truth. Give them the truth as it is. Tell them, look, you're now a teenager. You're able to get pregnant. You're able to get someone pregnant. I want you to walk rightly. This is how you walk. You don't go impregnating every girl in the community just because now you think you're a man or you were circumcised. Or you tell the girl, this is the time to keep your legs closed. These men are going to run you. That is what you tell them. Not about your boyfriends or your girlfriends. It's sad. A sad situation. But I need you parents to do better. Be better. And for those parents who are not in their house, those ones who are now separated with, the parents that are outside the family, I also need you parents to come on board and help your children. Men, especially men. You see your children as a teenager. And you're saying, oh, they're just okay. See, they have their mom. That your boy will become a woman living with women in the house. He'll be so feminine. You'll I'm sorry. I'm not laughing. I'm just saying, as a father, if your son has got sisters around him and he has just his sisters and the mom, you need to step up and regulate him properly. Because if you don't, he'll just become all feminine. You've seen all of them there. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing and I'm not criticizing anybody, but I'm just saying, if you want your son to grow up into a man, you need to be in their life, regulating them, guiding them, protecting them, showing them the way they need to walk. Because women can only do so much for men, so much for their sons. The rest is up to you to step up and help out. Because she only gives what she knows how to give. she can only raise him the best she can. The other part is for you to show him on how to be a man. So you don't leave the responsibility to your ex-wife or ex-partner. You say, see, I'm giving, they'd say, I give her money. Every month I give her money. No, you have to take care of your son too. And your daughters. Okay? So parents, I hope this has been helpful to you. If you like the message, please share with other single parents. Let them know about this platform, and we'll begin to chat about these topics in the near future. So I wish you the very best, dear parent, as you take on the challenge of raising your child. Have a blessed day. Amen.